So, who would have thought ShadowNinja would ever pick up a sword, because I sure as hell didn't. I'll be honest, I rarely ever use these things unless an encounter calls for it. In this video, as you guys clicked on, we have a STRAND Titan sword build. Now there is some flexibility on loadout and offensive damage, but before we jump into all that stuff, just want to say, if you guys enjoy the content and want more from me, be sure to hit that subscribe button and bell to be notified on when I drop more content. With that out of the way, let's dive into this one. So like I said, this is a sword build. It's going to be a very defensive tank based on the exotic we're using, more on that pretty soon, but also an offensive juggernaut. What I mean by that is you can fend off nearly anything blasting in your face. Whoa, pause. Nobody clip that. Thus making you indestructible. Unfortunately, Cross beat me to the punch here in one of his very recent videos, but the information with Stronghold that he shows off and things like that isn't really new here, and we do have some deviations from what I somewhat saw in his video. I didn't watch entirely of it, but it really gives, at least Stronghold really gives, that blocking potential you want when it comes to fantasizing about swords in a game like this. And like I said, at the same time, with the STRAND loadout we have here and some mods in the artifact, we are also an incredibly deadly offensive force on the field, no matter the content. And depending on the role you have on the new Abyssal Edge Waveframe Sword, you guys will potentially destroy anything. So with that being said, I think this is a good time to jump in the game and talk about this build. So here we are in game with the build, and first off, drip check. I really like this one a lot. Your opinion means nothing to me. If you hate it, get over it. Yeah, I don't know. I really like this strip a lot, and you can leave your thoughts down below if you want to. For one, this is the STRAND subclass. We only have one super at the moment. I really hope they add another one, but I don't know what they would do. We're using the Rally Barricade, even though we barely will be using this. High Lift Supremacy. Frenzy Blade, of course, only melee we can choose. And then the Grapple Grenade, because Grapple Grenade is just the best grenade for STRAND as a whole. If you have this option, it is phenomenal. Aspects: into the fray, destroying a tangle or casting your super grants Woven Mail for nearby allies, and while you have Woven Mail, your melee regeneration rate is increased. This is going to be really good for just proccing more Frenzy Blades. This is an easy way of proccing Banner of War, which is our next aspect. You know, we're doing stuff with sword. This just makes sense. This is the best STRAND aspect in the game, in my opinion. And even though it's been nerfed a bit, it is still incredibly viable. Fragments, threat of generation, dealing damage, generates grenade energy. Really good stuff there, especially since we want to regenerate our grapple melee as fast as possible. When it comes to threat of isolation, landing rapid precision hits amidst a severing burst from the target. This is going to go really good with our loadout. And severing burst, when it comes to certain things, can help with our regen rate with our super. More on that when we go into the artifact. When it comes to our next fragment, we have threat of warding. Picking up an overpower grants Woven Mail. Again, really good stuff here. Woven Mail is going to be really great to just keep on spamming and having. And then since we're doing a lot of stuff with Threadlings, I know we're Titans, why would we do that? You'll see Threadlings travel further and deal additional damage. This is just really good. Plus we get a plus 10 intellect bonus, putting at least my stats to a 54. When it comes to our loadout, Borrow Dyad, this is kind of like Act 2 proof since this is coming out the day before. Borrow Dyad is going to be seeing some Gallus and stuff like that coming out. I really love this SMG if you build in mind something like Strand or Prismatic. If you want to use this on like an Arc, I don't think it's a good one because you're missing out on fragments and different stuff to enhance it. But if you're focusing on Strand like we are here, this is going to help us become an offensive juggernaut on top of the fact that we're using the Abyssal Edge Sword. Trace Rifle is going to be our option here. If you want to use a Fusion Rifle, Axel Lacuna from the Paleheart is a really good option here. Comes with some of that super regeneration stuff when it comes to dealer's choice. And then Abyssal Edge, we'll talk about this more on another video. Chrono Cross talked about it. Flash, that I think Flash Edge is the one blinding and stuff like that. That's an option here. Kind of helps out. He did a video. Pretty wild what you can do with this. Kind of sucks he beat me to it, but we're using Tireless Blade and Redirection. Redirection is incredible, and this sword benefits a ton of it, especially when it comes to just slamming yellow bars and champions and things like that. When it comes to our armor mods, Harmonic Siphon will lead to a Strand Siphon, hands-on, and heavy ammo finder because we want a lot of sword stuff. Stronghold, we have a Strand Loader for our SMG, heavy-handed and impact induction. When it comes to our chest, we have 2 Strand Reserves, specifically Harmonic Reserves, and then a melee damage resistance because we're going to be up close in enemies' faces. It just makes sense. When it comes to our legs, we have a Strand Scavenger and an Elemental Charge. Again, tons of tangles and stuff like that are going to be spawning. I would like to just enhance my armor charges so I can use something like Special Ammo Finisher, or in the case of a grenade thing, we can use a finisher for our grenade and stuff like that. Like, that's perfectly fine. Also, time dilation and font restoration to kind of get my recovery stats a little bit up there, and we'll always have armor charges. Artifacts. These ones I am mentioning is really important. Elemental Supercharger. Defeating exhausted or severed targets with weapons that match a super element grants you super energy. So whether you're using the SMG, which landing rapid hits will cause a sever, and then you kill them, you'll get that type of stuff. You can sever, and then maybe if you're coming off a super, things like that, you can use your sword. Something will be severed around, but precision hits with severs, and then this, so much super regeneration happens. Guys, you make one tap supers or one-off supers regen incredibly fast, especially if you have orbs spawning and stuff like that. This is a powerful artifact perk that I generally love this episode. Horde Shuttle. Damaging unraveling targets with a weapon occasionally spawns a threadling. This goes in with unraveling orbs, will generate tons of orbs, will get grants, destroying tangles. Well, strand weapons like our SMG and sword will have unraveling rounds. Really great stuff there. But those are the three that really are good. Oh, Disruptor Spike improves the effects of exhausted and sever, lowering the damaged target's output even further. Yeah, that's a build. Really simple, really powerful. This artifact and some of the strand stuff makes it juicy, but let's jump out and wrap up this video. So that's a build. Nothing crazy here to make this video any longer. Certainly we'll have a more detailed video on the new sword a week from now. I just want to put that information together and things like that. You'll see there's a lot going there when it comes to making this really fun. Tons of stuff to love with the sword. I kind of wish the linear fusion was as good as this sword, but that's an entirely different conversation. There's something there, but nothing crazy. I'll also make a video on that. Obviously, Act 2 is tomorrow, so we'll work out when to drop those videos, but yeah. That's the video. Of course, if you guys want to pull this build for yourself, dim link in the description and in the pinned comment. Also, if you guys enjoyed, be sure to drop the video a like, helps out the video a ton. And if you want more content from me, like I said before, hit that subscribe button and bell to be notified on when I do drop that content. Besides that, thank you guys for watching. That's pretty much all I gotta say on this one. Hope you guys have a good one. ShadowNinja here, and I'm out.